Hello everyone, welcome back to another Age of Empires 4 commentary. I am Beyond, and today we have a great matchup for you. We have Corvinus 1 playing as Joan of Arc in the pink on the bottom side of the map on Hidden Valley. Across the way, we have really unskilled playing as the Japanese in the deep blue at the top side. Really skilled, I believe, is a Smurf of some sort, slash, when I say Smurf, I just mean an alternative account. They're still top 28 in the entire world, which means they're probably a pro player or semi-pro player. I just don't know who they are. I'm sure I could do some deep diving, but at this point we do know who Corvinus is. A very solid player, is a great streamer as well. We'll leave his link in the description below. Highly recommend checking out his content. And actually I think he has a YouTube as well, so I'll leave that in the link below. Now, in this matchup, Joan of Arc has been heavily complained on, honestly. If you've been seeing the Reddit posts, you've been seeing everyone's pretty much sick of Joan of Arc at this point. It's because she's very, very good. She's very, very good at a few things, right? She makes it so that it just is incredibly hard to play against her. So she's a very good aggressive early. It's very hard to stop her from getting XP. She's pretty much unkillable, and then when you do kill her, it's probably not worth the investment, which how much armor she has. And then to cap that all off, she gets companions, which are incredibly strong early game. Once she turns into a horse as well, they turn into men-at-arms, which is nuts. And then top it all on all of that, she also has an ability called Wrath, which is really it's really impacting the game because it's not a typical skill that you would normally see in Age of Empires 4. Now, I will say, with all that being said, I absolutely love this patch. I love what the devs have done. So, all credit possible. Just a slight tweak on Joan of Arc, and I think that we will be in a very good spot. Also, a slight tweak on IUBids. There's a few things that need to be tweaked for sure, but they're new civs, so it's to be expected. Now, Japan, not one to be snuffed at. Also, a very solid civ at the current moment. They do very, very well when they're allowed to get their economy up. They're allowed to get their upgrades up. And then they're just a constant stream of samurai and samurai horsemen. And then all sorts of new units that I do know the names of, but I really have to look at them, just to make sure I say them correctly. I don't want to be roasted in the comments. Guys, if you've made it this far into the video and you have been enjoying, please drop a like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. The biggest thing, important thing, is to leave a like and also a comment. Let me know how your day is going. Let me know if you feel like Joan of Arc is too good, too bad. Let me know if you've been really enjoying this new patch with all these new civs. I know I have. And yeah, as I mentioned in the last video, which for some reason, absolutely dumpster fire video. Don't know why. The click-through rate is absolutely abysmal, which it is. It happens sometimes. But I mentioned in the last video that I do have some upcoming things in the works to kind of see, to get some more content for you guys, specifically in the team rank /2v2 space. So I'm very excited to announce those when they are official. And then you can also find out more announcements in my Discord below or on my Twitch link. But if you don't want to follow any of that shameless self-promotion, there's tons and tons of new content that are going to be coming out on my channel as well right here. Have some collabs set up in the future that I think will do very, very well. Now, we do have the Kura storehouse going down. I really like this. It's a unique landmark in the sense that it, one, provides a lot of safe food, which is kind of cool. And on top of that, it also provides farms all the way around it and then provides wood. So it's kind of like a true economic landmark. I think it really shows the power of what the devs can do when they get creative with something, in contrast to something like, let's say, the Radiance Cathedral, which is very based on, to get the economic benefits out of it, you actually have to go out on the map and get something, right? So this is a huge difference in the sense that I think that a lot of the newer ones, like the Zushi Legacy, they have landmarks that just do well by themselves, which I think is kind of like the Ottomans landmark. So I think what I'm saying also, I think that the Order of the Dragon probably needs a little bit switch up from those landmarks, just some slight tweaks, but we're not in the Order of the Dragon, so we're moving on. In this matchup, Japan is definitely going to be looking to just turtle and survive the early game. Joan of Arc is just going to be trying her best to age up as quickly as possible. You can see that she's the only one currently producing, currently making this entire thing. In the first couple games of this new season that we watched Joan of Arc, we saw that Corvinus did the kind of cancellation of building houses, but I think the new meta is just for them to build the entire school of cavalry by their lonesome. and that will get them plenty of XP to get you into the woman at arms stage, which then you can go out on the map, kill some boars, and then once you're done that, then you can start to kind of harass with Jeanne. She's incredibly powerful. A lot of times you see knights backing her up. We do see a horseman coming out, which I'm assuming is to just help her take down, which is to kind of secure a little bit of map control. But the Japanese player over here has already started to, they're bunkering in. They're getting ready to go Castle Age as quickly as humanly possible. Probably looking to go Castle Age at around that 7 to 8 minute mark. If they continue this trajectory, you can see they're floating a good amount of resources, which would indicate that is the case. It's very, very important to get towers and outposts out on all the outstanding things. Whereas there's stones back here, we're going to start to see that collection pretty soon. And we're also getting some horsemen out, which I'm assuming are just to kind of mess a little bit with this outward food sources, because they know early on that if you're playing Joan of Arc, she's going to be going to get those boars. And usually, since it's early on and they have the map control with Joan, they usually also go out to send out villagers right away to collect those boars early on. So if you do get early horsemen, you can start to be very, very annoying and dealing some damage to those and make those villagers cause idle time. And if they haven't built a tower out here, they have to run all the way back. So it's really, really good, especially in the lower levels. If you want to, you can really focus in on some of these more expansion type of food types. We talk about it all the time on this channel, but it's incredibly, incredibly important to understand which civs have struggled with food. And obviously the French and Joan of Arc is one of them. She definitely struggles a little bit. Sorry, I was a little bit zoomed in there for a half second. But they struggle with food as a whole. So until they get a farm transition going, they have to move out in the map so you can start to harass. And that's what we see the really unskilled player doing over here. Obviously, they're very, very skilled. They turn actually on the butter knives, which is, they will take one down, but you'll take this much idle time all day long. And with some nice micro here, they will be able to move on. And now look at that. Another one comes into play. So this is a 2-for-2 trade. Remember, this is also idle time this entire time. This is brutal for Corvinus, and this is exactly what you have to do against Joan of Arc. I know I've been seeing lots and lots of posts about how we have to nerf her, X, Y, and Z, but this is getting brutal. There's nowhere for them to go, right? As I mentioned, they have to travel all the way back. So now they're running towards Joan at this point, looking for anything to help them out. And Joan taking down that boar that whole time. But that is 4 villagers lost. These horsemen paid themselves off in spades. This is so key, guys, and this is such a good play by the Japanese player. When you are playing an early game civ, when you're facing an early game civ, just remember, you don't always have to go, you can invest a little bit, like you got that early sable, just so you have something to deal with them. If you completely leave them alone, you're going to get ram rushed at the 12-minute mark, and you're not going to have anything to stop it. What they just did right there set Corvinus back a ton. This is going to be incredibly hard to come back into, even no matter how strong Joan of Arc is, and with the security of knowing that, we can drop our floating gate in the backhand side. Floating gates unlocks the Shinto priest, and that way you can also start to collect those relics. So all this passive income for the Japanese, the goal is to survive. That is first and foremost. This map, Hidden Valley, is also incredibly good for that. They can't attack you right down the middle unless they get through all these trees, which is not really possible, especially in the current patch where you can't just do a chop through anymore. Of course, it's very, very hard to also get over here and get into this relic sacred site. So if you're looking for sacred sites, do not play Delhi on this map. It's not gonna be good right off the rip, because it's gonna be incredibly hard to get that third one / nigh impossible early on. As the floating gate going up, we see more and more of these wall off coming in, which I really do like it. And protecting this entire Kora storehouse. Now look at this army. Imagine if it had a bunch more food behind it, it'd be even spookier. We can see that the infrastructure is already going down for Corvinus. We have 2 archery ranges coming in, which is a typical kind of French all-in at this point, right? You see a lot of times, even the original French, not even the variation civ like Joan, you're seeing a ton of kind of all in, and this is kind of this is actually something that's kind of not good in the game right now. You see that wrath ability on towers? That actually does, I believe, it actually impacts the people inside, which is why Corvinus is doing it. I think that is a bug and will be fixed in the next one, but it's something to look out for. There's definitely a bunch of small little bugs like that are making it so it's a little bit tougher. So trying to take down, as you can see, the 5 units have been taken down in there. Isn't that crazy? How nuts is that? That changed the tide all the way back because of a bug, which is kind of brutal. I'm not going to lie to you. You can see the dead bodies around there. It's really, really rough, and it's definitely something that needs to be fixed almost immediately. We have Spearmen coming out, though. If that wasn't in the game, this would be a much different scene. Where is more going down? So 6. So it looks like they picked off one of the villagers over here with this horseman, and another villager actually ended up going down somewhere that I don't exactly know where, but they did. The first relic has been taken, I believe. No, it has not been. They have to move out over to this side where most of them are. So they will be heading on over to get them as much as possible. They also get that they create one every 100 and it looks like 240 seconds. Yes, every 4 minutes. Okay. Yes, I did quick math in my head. That is 240. So we see the wall off coming in over here because there's actually a lot of harass going down. And we have now another 2 more villagers going down. So the Japanese player is showing the ability to go fast castle, but also utilize these early horsemen, with something I would highly, highly recommend. Sorry, someone was at the door. Whereas I highly, highly recommend it is you can utilize the units that you actually have and also make sure that it's just all about throwing your opponent off a little bit. Do not let them be calm and do their exact same build order over and over and over again. Of course, in Conquer and above, that's not going to be the same case. But Diamond and below, if you throw them off their build order, it will always be advantageous for you. We have a samurai coming out. And this samurai, with the help of this spearman, will be able to easily thwart these 3 horsemen coming over here. Joan is in tow, but she is not leveled up yet. She did go down, which is actually pretty costly early on. It's not the end of the world because she got such a good trade-off, so it's not too bad, but they're not going to be able to push this same one, and this outpost will probably be a little bit more careful about that Wrath ability, knowing full well that that bug is there, so they're not going to really probably mess with that too much. They're circling a little bit. They want to kind of get involved in this one, and Corvinus knows if they all go into that outpost, that Wrath ability can take them down, which is really, really tough to deal with at the current moment. And here we go. Here's the engage. We can see that Joan is going into tank, and she has so much ranked armor. There is the Wrath going down. Joan is taking on two samurai. She will be going down soon, though, and there she goes down yet again. These samurai are so good. Joan has fallen, and these archers are going to do absolutely nothing to them. And now this tower can sit back, relax, and enjoy it, and shoot down upon these horsemen. Once these horsemen go down, these archers are going to want to get out of dodge quite soon. It looks like this one samurai will be saved, though. Let's see if they can actually get it over here. There we go. It is saved, and now this other samurai can come over here. Unfortunately for these archers, they're going to be going down, taking a lot of shots from these towers and that TC, picking them all off. Only 4 are going to be remaining, so a great trade here for the Japanese player. We have more horsemen doing more horseman things over here. Joan is back up and at him again, but another villager has gone down. We're going to see one more, it looks like. There's the companions. They will be getting just one more. Some nice micro there, but that long range poke, Commando Pro over there. This boar has been so contested. 10 villagers have now gone down, which is unbelievably good for the Japanese player. It is actually unique. There's the first bit of stone coming into play. We don't even have the first Daimyo Manor upgrade yet, which is usually something that comes into play. But we do have a few more stables and a few more barracks, knowing full well that they have to get some army out on this map. And I do love to see this. It's kind of like you'd normally see the Japanese players go for essentially a second TC. It's kind of the meta at the current moment to just go for that and kind of make it work from there. But we see that you have to be able to adjust your game plan, especially against a civ that you know is going to be coming early and often to deal with all of this. We do have a relic just dropped out over here. Going to be going to collect that. It's going to be putting it in the floating gate, I believe. Let's see. Or we're going to be putting it in the Shinto Shrine. There we go. And boom. There it goes. One is safe and sound. Now, we do have another one being collected at the current moment. I believe, yeah, there they are. Building this all the way back. We have a guild hall going up in the backhand side. Or I guess more the middle of Corvinus' base. And going to be moving out yet again. Another sizable army. 15 to 11. Doesn't sound too crazy at the 15-minute mark, but the Japanese players have done so good at kind of just doing these small trades, knowing full well that they have the economic advantage. They're up by 8 villagers at the current moment, and they're up by 2 relics. And that one relic has made it all the way back, so they're starting to get the reaping the rewards of these, which is so nice. Now this army is going to be able to thwart anything that comes their way, especially before Castle Age. With this daimyo, with this bannerman, it's going to be able to clean out this army. There is the ram rush, so we're still seeing it, which is kind of crazy for Corvinus to be going about this. If these samurai run by though and they get into this wood line or anything like that, this could be really, really bad for Corvinus. But Corvinus is looking like I think he saw those and just going to be moving on. And here the spears are to kind of help. It looks like this outpost is getting upgraded, but I don't think it will be in time before this ram comes in. So I actually might want to be canceling this quickly. It looks like they're going to be coming back. I'm assuming once they see this. Nope, they almost came back, but they're deciding not to. And there is the Wrath ability. It's going to be taking down this outpost and getting so much value. The ram is going to be going down though, and Joan of Arc is now going to be using that Wrath ability again. There it is. They pop back out, and look at how much damage it does. That is definitely something that needs to be fixed, but let's see if the Japanese player can overcome it. We don't see any. They're trying to get through over here, kind of essentially trading out, but this is a huge win for Corvinus and the Jeanne. They just keep coming, and they've killed 13 villagers. They are very, very strong, these samurai, and these veteran samurais are so good, but when they don't have a critical mass, it's incredibly hard to deal with them. But that ram actually going down is going to prove to be very, very massive, and now everyone's going to be getting into this daimyo manner, and it will be able to pepper down pretty much anyone that's not Joan of Arc. She has essentially infinite range armor, so she will not be going down anytime soon. They are now just running around this base, and it looks like they're trying to save this wall off with a few villagers, and it is going well at that point so far. We're dropping a ram on the backhand side, but now samurai are starting to finally get this done. 16 villagers have gone down with all this harassment, so Corvinus is making his way through and actually dealing a lot of damage. The companions are going down because there's now a critical mass of samurai. I think it's time to call it a day on that ram. It's not going to be nearly enough. Joan is now finding her way into the wood line, going to be using probably the Wrath ability, and just overall just being an absolute nuisance. Unfortunately, these were thwarted, so they would have been much better in defense, but hindsight's always 20/20 on those types of things. It's easy for me as a commentator to be like, oh, well, you should have brought him back. It's like, yeah, that would have been good. Somehow the companions spawn out of nowhere already, so maybe we need to tweak down that a slight bit, but Joan has now cornered yet another villager. 20 villagers have gone down. The companions are now moving in. The Shinto priests are healing themselves. They aren't able to save it, so 21 in total. Joan should be going down soon, but she's only taking 1 damage from all these archer fires. And now she has her eyes set on these villagers over here. You can see that they have now actually gone up on villagers. Corvinus has completely gone up in villagers. They should be able to take down this ram before it does any damage. And now they should be able to push on the backhand side with this entire samurai army. Corvinus is dropping a second town center on this forward gold. This boar that has seen so much blood and battle is now being taken for their own on this front and seeing what they can be doing over there. And now also on the same gold, the same path, really unskilled player, aka the Japanese player, is going and dropping the exact same carbon copy expansion. We now see the Corvinus is moving out to get a little bit of stone, so maybe a keep drop of some sort is coming into play. And both players have essentially elected to do that. 3 relics have now been taken for the Japanese player, so a lot of nice passive gold coming into it. Oh, I forgot to do the villager thing. I'm so sorry. I usually always remember that, but this time I was so focused on the new mic, so I will make sure to do that for next time. We have a nice farm transition coming in for the Japanese player, though, so feeling pretty good about this. Doesn't have to go too far outside of their comfort zone. Will actually be taking that second boar on the top side, and now we see the army. They're going to be scouting this completely, and this is worst case scenario for Corvinus. Once these mounted samurai get in, here they go. Oh no. They have found the jackpot. More villagers are going to be going down, and this is not going to be good at all. Joan is trying to counterattack, but that is a ton of samurai chasing down all of these villagers, and they're going to see the expansion. The villagers have decided to hide behind a tree, but unfortunately this is not real life. They were able to see you, and now they're getting into a tower, but that's going to make short work of this. There is plenty of armor over here to take out this tower entirely, and then they can move on to essentially anything else. There's a lot of spearmen though, so this is actually a nice counter composition into this. There that goes the villagers. Looks like they're going to be moving on to the town center. And here we go. Here's the engage. We have crossbowmen as well, which is a very, very nice selection from Corvinus. The Japanese have a heavy usage of armor with all these samurai and these samurai mounted horses. So they are actually going down quite heavily. Joan of Arc is down. The only issue with crossbowmen, they are wonderful when able to kite or have a front line. As you can see, look at how good they are. But when you do get on top of them, they do become quite squishy. But this many crossbowmen should be able to take out the remaining forces. And look at that, some nice micro there by Corvinus to get the job done. If they were to get back here and trade it back on this, it would have been brutal. We do see more and more samurai are coming out, 17 on the map in total, and they're going to be looking to attack this expansion 100%. That's a lot of idle time for Corvinus at this point, and did lose now even on villagers. So Joan was sacrificed for 2, but these samurais took out, I believe, 13, which is an incredibly high number, especially. Corvinus was able to secure 2 relics of his own, so not to be completely outdone, has something going on. Joan is back, and she will now be fighting on this right-hand side, which it seems like most of the battles will be happening from here on out. The Bannerman's coming in. We also have this being upgraded. No, it didn't get upgraded. It looks like the middle one did. Yep, we have a Daimyo Palace now in the middle. Feeling safe and sound. And then the next upgrade is that Shogunate Castle, which fires a rocket. It has so much damage and protection. It's very, very hard to break down one of those. Now we can see we have more and more of this wood coming in. We do have the first sacred site being secured. JK, it's not being secured any longer. Joan is making her way in again. She's now going to be finding that there is an entire wall off, so nothing can be done over there. And honestly, while useful, Corvinus is not keeping Joan with his army, and this map makes it very, very hard for Joan to actually make it all the way to the other side of the map. So if this army attacks over here, the most important person in the entire game is not going to be in this battle. And we can see that that is the kind of the move. They haven't scoured this at all over here because she hasn't gone close enough to any of these. Actually, that outpost might have seen her just barely. But here we go. A keep is up, so Corvinus feels pretty safe about this. I wouldn't be starting to start to see some siege coming in. We have siege engineering coming in for the Japanese player, which, you know, it makes sense. You have plenty of wood available right down the middle over here, so just make a bunch of rams and call it a day. The villager count is currently 62 to 58, so I do think that they're pretty even, and this is also what makes Joan so good, but they're moving right in for production. They go, you know what, enjoy your keep over there, that's wonderful. Joan's out of position. We don't know it for sure, but we can just guess. And actually, they probably do know because she can take sacred sites, so they kind of run around and see that, and they see that little ding over there, and they're now taking down production. It's a lot of free, essentially, units, and also just free wood, right? Like, this is a ton of production that you can't just instantly rebuild. You're gonna have to take the time, you're gonna have to use the resources to build it again, and they're ripping through all of this. This is great play here, and you can see the stream of blue dots coming in, and they're doing lots and lots of damage. This is a scary Japanese fighting ball. They have 59 strong, and they see Joan. Joan is moving in. It looks like that is going to be the target, but there's a lot of crossbowmen, a lot of spearmen, and here's the engage. We're moving in. We have Joan using the wrath the best they possibly can. The horsemen have made a surround on these crossbowmen, which is going to be very, very nice. Joan uses her heal ability. She's going to be using wrath again quite soon. These crossbowmen have no answer for these castle-age horsemen. They're doing so well into this competition, and they completely obliterate their opponents, and now they can go take down this expansion. They can move on to all these villagers for free. So you can just hear the horses screaming, oh, is this for me? Absolutely. Now, Joan can probably take down this entire squad. There she goes with the wrath. But they don't care. If they're keeping Joan busy, they can just start to landmark snipe over here. And these samurais are so strong and so tanky, and there's no villagers left over here. There's a continuously line of these samurai. We also have the Onas in here. It's incredible how good this armor composition is. This really unskilled player is very, very skilled indeed. Now that is the first landmark. We can start to look. There is number 2. It is going to be a landmark snipe. Can this get stopped? It looks like Corvinus is actually dropping a red keep on their face, though. Will it go up in time, though? It's going to be so close. It's going to be down to the wire. There it is. And they're going to see this right away. Now they know for sure. There's the last one. There is the landmark. They're coming in. The red palace. We can see the ticker over here. Oh, they're going to be using Wallows. Corvinus is so smart for this. He's going to be delaying as much as he possibly can. This is incredibly intense. There's going to be another Wallow to keep them completely away. Actually, a few might go down here. One section be collected. No, just in time. And we can see, there it is. There is the timer that we have. One more Wallow goes down, so it's actually going to save it just in time. Can they actually get out in time? Woo! Just by the skin of their teeth. This is going to be, I believe the red palace will be going up just barely. There's the final Wallow. And they have to move out yet again. Joan, they're going to get a few over here. And look at that. The Wallows finally work out. Well played from Corvinus. That has been destroyed. And now they're going to be taking out this army, which they should be able to take out easily. But well done there to secure the red keep. The red keep is now also firing upon everything over here. And it's completely distance away from this military. We still have the blue blobs going all the way down. The only unfortunate thing now is that those relics are now outside of this monastery. Not like they would have lasted very long anyways. But now they're officially outside. And now they're just cleaning up everything, and they're going to be going for some yoinks for sure. We see that the priests are coming in to tow to take these away. The spoils of war will be carted away. And now Joan is still alive, though, which is nuts. She is still running around the battlefield, dropping wraths, dropping heals. No worries at all. She hasn't upgraded to her giant mega cannon just yet, but I'm sure she will quite soon. They're looking to get in here. There's only one villager left in there, though. 35 villagers in total have gone down. And Joan is still alive. There we go. She might finally go down. There she goes. She is finally done and dusted. A lot of the production has gone down. The last frontier is the Red Keep. Looks like we have some nice forward aggression going down to take this enemy's gold, which is hysterical. We also have the Imperial Age for the Japanese player coming in. The gunsmith coming in, and now we also have some siege equipment that will be rolling out to take down this final frontier. I'm assuming that Corvinus is going to GG quite soon, but we'll have to wait and see. This outpost sees everything. We have more siege workshops going in, so I'm assuming it's going to be a ram that will be produced out of here. I'm so used to playing the English, so it's just like, oh, you can just produce a ram out of here. Not like that for everyone. You can produce a little Jeanne's champions, though, which is always fun. And there we go. There's the rams that will be coming in. Actually, no, we're going to be seeing a cannon. So, when in doubt, just go right up to cannon. And the first one will be going down. It looks like that cannon will not be coming out, though. And there is the Imperial Age. I mean, it's not really possible to kind of win this one. Look at the army composition. 48-2. So this is pretty much done and dusted. We just have to wait for this little cluster over here to move onto this red palace, and once that comes into play, it will be all she wrote. More and more villagers will be going down from these horsemen, and now we just have to wait for this mass over here, or this one over here. Somewhere it just has to come in and take down this red keep, and the trebuchets are a-flowing. More are going down. Corvinus is really making a meal out of this game for sure. I'm sure that this is going to be over quite soon. The red palace is getting trebuchet down and even hand cannon down. It is in range of this hand cannon though, so I actually should have moved in some of these warriors first so it could actually tank the red palace. But that's 3 trebuchets, 4 trebuchets, so it will go down eventually. Just has to wait its time. As we slowly tick away, more and more villagers will be pulled, but they will be running out of resources quite soon. And as you can see, the wood just being trickled down. Once it gets to 0, they will have no chance of repairing it, and that will be a GG. This is so well played, and guys, if you are a Japanese player and you've been struggling with Joan of Arc, which I know a lot of you have, follow this type of strategy. Be a little bit aggressive where you can, but also bunker down and make sure that you are always trading. Don't just let them don't let them do whatever they want and just sit outside your base and get ready for a ram rush, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's something you can do about it, and hopefully that bug will be fixed soon about the wrath. Guys, if you did enjoy, please do leave a like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Drop a comment, say hello, and I hope you guys have a great night.